Hello there, students. Welcome to another cold day. I hope you are safe and warm at home, and wanted to give you some notes for tomorrow. Again, these can be done either Wednesday or Thursday, but whenever you get around to them, here's what we're going to be working on. So open up to your composition book. In your composition book to your next new page. And I'm just going to kind of show you the notes as we go. I know the last ones we did were backwards, so we're going to try it this way instead. So on your new page, you can go ahead and label it January 31st, 2019. And textbook page 14 to 15, number 7 through 11 is what we're working on. We'll have some notes interspersed. Okay, and you can title it Dividing by 100. That's the first section we'll do. Okay, so when we divide by 100, we move the decimal 2 places to the left. And I just want to kind of highlight the way you can remember that is 100 has 2 zeros. Each of those zeros represent a decimal place, a place value place. So if you're not sure, oh, do I move it by 2 or by 3? Look at how many zeros are in the number, and that tells you how many places you're going to move. Okay, and dividing, we move to the left. Multiplying, we move to the right. Just make sure you're not, if we're dividing, our number will be getting smaller. If we're multiplying, our number will be getting bigger. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to try is just 750 divided by 100. I'm going to show you how this works. So 750. So I know my answer when I divide it by 100 is going to be a little more than 7. Okay, and it is 7.5 or 7 5/10. And we can show the decimal point that was after the 0. I move it 1, 2 places, and it becomes 7.5. Remember, we have an infinite number of zeros before that we can use and an infinite number of zeros after. So instead of rewriting the 0 there, I just drop it off. It's kind of like reducing a fraction. Okay, so we have 7.5. All right, so number 7 in your textbook, it says divide 4 by 100. So we're going to take the whole number 4, the decimal point is at the end, and we're going to just move it to the left 2 places because I'm dividing by 100 that has 2 zeros. So 1, 2, and then I fill in the empty spots with zeros to hold the place. And again, because this is a video, please feel free to pause at any time. So you can catch up on the writing. So, all right, so we're going to fill in the empty spots. How many empty spots do you see? Yes, I have a 4 in this spot, and I have 1 empty spot there. So I need to put 1 0 after the decimal. Okay, that keeps my 4 in the hundredths place. I have 0 tenths, and then we usually just put a 0 at the beginning to show no whole number part. All right, number 8, 52.8 or 52 8/10 divided by 100. Here, we're going to make a chart, and all of the numbers now will move 2 places just to kind of represent what they become. So when you take 50 and you divide it by 100, that 5 is going to move to the tenths place. The 2 is going to move, that was in the ones, moves to the hundredths place, and the 8 that was in the tenths place moved to the thousands place. Again, we're moving 2 places because I'm dividing by 100 that has 2 zeros. Okay? So we move that down, and then my decimal point always stays on this dividing line between the ones and the tenths. So my answer is 0.528, or read correctly, 528 thousandths. Okay. Got it? So that is page 1. And got my pages stuck together there. Okay. So now we're going to move on to dividing by 1,000. When we're dividing a decimal by 1,000, we are going to move the decimal 3 places to the left. And why 3? Because 1,000 has 3 zeros. That's how we represent that. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So to get from the thousands to the ones, we have to move 3 places. Okay. So you can go ahead and copy this down. So when we're dividing by 1,000, 1 becomes 1,000th, 10 becomes 100th, and 100 becomes 1/10. Okay, that's how when we move the decimal 3 places. 1, 2, 3. I get it right there, so I have 0.1, okay? All right, so number 9, we're gonna do 5 divided by 1,000. Okay, so again, highlighting the decimal point. There's a hidden decimal point at the end of every whole number. So 5 is also 5.0 with as many zeros at the end as you need. We don't really need any at the end, but we will need some before the 0, before the 5 at this one. So that decimal point, I'm going to move over 1, 2, 3 places, okay? And then I'm going to fill in these empty spots with placeholder zeros and then put my whole number part as a 0 also, okay? And so I end up with the number 5 thousandths. That makes sense, right? 5 divided by 1,000 should be 5 thousandths. Okay. Next, number 10, we're going to divide 62 by 1,000. So now we're going to make another chart. Each digit is going to move over 3 places. So the 6 in the tens place is going to move 3 ones, tens, hundredths, and it's going to go to the hundredths. The 2 that's in the ones place is going to move over 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be in the thousandths place. Our decimal is always between the ones and tenths no matter what else is going on. And I fill in this 0 here. So I get 62 thousandths. So 62 divided by 1,000 equals 62 thousandths. Make sense? Okay. At this point, I would like you to try number 11 on your own. So please pause the video and try 11 A through F, and I will give you answers to that in just a moment. And we are almost done. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you did 11 A through F on your own. If you didn't, please make sure you attempted those. And then we'll just quickly go through the answers. And then if that all looks good, we can start your work on workbook exercise 8. All right, so we have on 11A, here we go. 8 divided by 100. Ooh, there we go. 8 divided by 100, you should have gotten 8 hundredths, written 0.08. B, 90 divided by 100, you should have gotten 9 tenths, written 0.9. And then 1.5 divided by 100, you should have gotten 15 thousandths, written 0.015. All right, for the next line where we're dividing by 1,000, we have part D, 4 divided by 1,000, gives us 4 thousandths, written 0.004. E, 200 divided by 1,000, gives us 0.2 or 2 tenths. And then finally F, 324 divided by 1,000, gives us 324 thousandths or 0.324. Okay, that's all. So all we are doing is dividing by hundredths and thousandths at this point. I think you should be able to make a solid attempt on workbook exercise 8. If you have any questions or problems, I'll be happy to help when we get back together on Friday. I hope you've had a wonderful week. Thank you for all your hard work at home. MobyMax is optional today. You do not have to do it. If you are behind, though, if you've missed a day, I suggest doing it, but it's not part of the plan for today. There's Caleb. Say hi, Caleb.
Hi!
Okay, yeah, Caleb's
Mom,
excited.
I'm gonna do something.
No, hang on a second. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.